Hello, I'm Kurtis Thomas. I've been flying for 35 years, which every time I say that, I cannot believe that's the number. But it is. I've been around it a long time. I found it to be something quite fascinating in my youth that, well, I guess the best way to explain it is this. You know how we all have hobbies and we enjoy them for a time and then they come and they go and we move on to something else. Well, the flying thing is the one thing that no matter how long I mess with it, I just can't get enough of it. It's always compelling. It's always pursuant to more education, to be better at it, to be smarter at it. And with that, it just never lost the love, and I've always pursued it. And I hope it stays around because it has been quite a ride.
He doesn't have like 30 minutes to just feature you, Kurtis. Let's get to be shorter questions.
What are you flying now?
Super Cub.
That's what he needs right there.
Right now I've got a Super Cub. It's a 1983 model. It's a pretty cool story on the airplane. It happens to be number 39 of the last 50 that were ever sold out of Lock Haven, Pennsylvania. They came to Neal Aircraft here in Lubbock back in '83, and this particular airplane behind me was bought originally from the factory by my uncle, and he owned it from '83 until 2007, and I bought it in '7 and have owned it since.
You don't want to talk about that he never wrecked it, but you did?
I have no knowledge at all of anything past, present, or future.
How'd you get into flying to begin with?
Whenever I was 6 years old, my folks told me that we were going to San Francisco. And I was excited about that because I was going to get to ride on an airplane. And that experience was something, I'm 52, and I can remember that. And I always wanted to do it. Whenever, for high school graduation, my parents gave me permission to go get my flying license. They didn't give me any money. They just said, okay, you can do it. And so I went up in Lubbock down to the airport and found a flight school, and I started there back in 1987.
How was your Lonestar STOL experience?
Oh, the Lonestar STOL. Where do I start with that? Doug just did a fantastic job. I mean, what a monumental task to coordinate such an endeavor, to come up with the amount of items that he had to create to make this thing go down, the amount of communication he had to go through, the number of people that he had to get in touch with, and then bank on the weather. And we all show up and it rains 5 inches. And yet these guys absolutely were dedicated to the concept that if at all we were going to have it, and they figured out a way to make it go. And so, Doug, I vote that you're in charge on all the future STOL competitions. We need one here at Slayton, and the good news is you get to come do it. So we welcome you.
Did you get to practice? How was the competition? Tell us some
Yeah,
details
we
about
showed
that.
up on the weather outlook looked peaked, to say the least. And so a number of us showed up on Thursday, and because of that, we were able to kind of squeeze in a little bit of practice on Thursday, which for us guys out here on the high plains, we're at 3,200 feet elevation, and you go to Gainesville and fly at 700-800 feet elevation. It's a brand new airplane, and fortunately we were able to get the time to get familiar with the profile, power settings, to get it to set up in shape and operate, something that we felt like could be remotely competitive. Gainesville's a great place. The airport was wonderful. The layout there is super to host a STOL competition, and not to mention the leadership that was provided by Doug.
What was your favorite part?
Wow. Well, they did such a good job across the board. That's really hard to isolate. Again, as I've said, the management was incredible. And then with Jughead coming out and providing the the commentary, you couldn't ask for a more talented band to come out and make it fun, make it inviting for the spectators to see and to understand what's going on. And so collectively, the package deal was fun. The food was great. We had a shrimp boil that night. We were all friends and it felt like family. So what can you say other than job well done? It's really hard for me to pick one thing.
What led you to the whole Fat Tire Faith thing?
Brian Rose created the Fat Tire Cowboys, and when you get to be my age, being in another little club, trying to act like a kid, well, it's a lot of fun. But if we're going to get on social media and we're going to present ourselves in some kind of fashion, quite honestly, the only way I can do that and feel comfortable about it is something about sharing the gospel. I can't believe how much response that I get from other pilots in the social media community who post and thank me for venturing off into faith, into sharing Jesus Christ, into sharing the Word, because we all have a good time. That's what we're here for, is to have a good time. But at the end of the day, we need to be meaningful. We need to be purposeful. And I couldn't think of a better way to do that than to share the good news of Jesus Christ.
What else you got, Kerry?
That was it.
That's it? Wait, he's going to want a headshot. So turn your head to the left a little more.
That's right. Your left?
Yeah, that way. Now lower your chin just a little bit. Just hold that. Just keep holding that.
I need somebody to come put a cable under here and hold this up.
You're done. Cut.